Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 166 of the J Situation Podcast. I'm recording this on June 13th, 2023. How are all you wonderful folks doing today? I hope you are doing well. No, I'm doing okay. I had a great weekend. A lot of administrative stuff got done, and I even had a chance to shoot my Mark 23 with the Knight's Armament silencer. So that's always a good day. Shoot some good old 45 ACP subsonic there. That's some steel with a silencer. That's a good time. Yeah, it's really fun. Now, guys, I told you I was going to take it easier in June than I did in May. And while that is true, it doesn't mean there's not great stuff coming for you. Yeah, especially this week, actually. This week, PEW Science members get some treats. Yeah, that's right. Some treats, plural, multiple treats. First up, member research supplement 6-115, or is it 116? Oh man, I can't remember what we're on. I'm kind of like, I go through this and I lose track. I think it's 115. Yeah, 115. Member research supplement 6-115, flow through versus conventional silencers on bolt-action rifles. That's right. So in this research supplement, we're going to take a look at the most modern examples representing the respective technologies. Okay, and the examples we're going to look at exhibit the closest performance to each other. And so we're going to look at three silencers, and we're going to explore the nuances, okay? Members, you don't want to miss this. It's good. If you aren't a member, this one might be worth joining for if you're interested in flow-through technology and what types of signature it produces when compared to conventional rifle silencers. Okay, so it'll be really cool. And secondly, but wait, there's more. That's right. No, members also get, in addition to that article that members get today, they're also getting something else, and it's actually bigger. By popular demand, folks wanted length and weight metrics in the rankings section. So I have added them, but with a twist. And so there are now length and weight sliders available in the members ranking section in the new data visualization tool. That's right. So now members can see the muzzle and ear suppression ratings graphically and adjust with filters, the same filters you guys know and love in the ranking section, but now you'll have length and weight sliders as well. Okay, so this, it's a two-dimensional chart with muzzle and ear suppression ratings and with the other metadata filterable with length and weight as well. Okay, and so that's only available for members. Again, thanks for your support. Okay, so we'll go into this on today's episode. All right, we'll get into this and more. But first, a word from my gracious sponsors. That's right. Because the J Situation Podcast is proudly sponsored by Legion Athletics. Oh my gosh, that's right. Legion Athletics, a dedicated sponsor of the podcast, of the entire effort. I am a firm believer in a sound mind and a sound body. Okay? Physical activity is important. Whether it's strength sports, cycling, martial arts, any type of activity that express the beauty of human strength, I'm here for it, man. I really am. And so participating in those activities is paramount for all people at all stages of life, I think. And that's my opinion. So that means when you're busy, you may need help not only fitting those activities into your schedule and prioritizing them, but you also might need some help with supplementing the nutrients you need to actually recover, okay? And be able to continue the good habits that you're developing, okay? You're no good unless you can be consistent. All right. So nothing you do, exercise, sports, anything, is worth doing without consistency. Okay, you know that, right? You have to do it all the time if you want to be good at it. And Legion Athletics can help. So they got whey protein, pre-workout, post-workout, vitamins, all kinds of stuff. Is it everything you need? Maybe not, but they have a lot of it. All right. Visit legionathletics.com. There's a link in the show notes, code word PEW Science, to save 20% off your first order. And if you keep using that code, when you keep buying your stuff there, you get double loyalty points. You'll end up getting a net 10% off on everything you ever buy there just using that code going forward. So get strong. It's important. Okay. It's awesome. The J Situation podcast is also sponsored by Top Gun Range Houston. Are those two things related? Working out and shooting guns? Definitely. If you're in the Houston area, even if you're just visiting, it's worth checking out Top Gun Range. In addition to having a 15-lane indoor shooting range, they have the largest firearm rental fleet in the state of Texas. That's right. You can rent pistols and rifles and shotguns and even machine guns, okay? It's pretty cool. And I've been there to their shop. I've hung out with them. It's a safe range. They're good folks. They all use silencers. They use PEW Science data to help inform their customers of what silencers might meet their needs. Is pretty cool. Okay, so I do like those guys. Check them out at topgunrange.com, and you can find them on Instagram at topgunrange. Okay, go check them out. The podcast is also brought to you by High End Armament Technologies, a little bit of a different dealer. It's a dealer of exactly that: high-end arms and accessories. Significant longevity in machine guns, silencers, NFA game, night vision, thermal optics, infrared sighting systems. If there's something you need, it's rare, you can't find it, call Robert at High End Arms. Check him out at highendarms.com, on Instagram at High End Arms, and they even have a Facebook page, which is also, you guessed it, High End Arms. I hope they can help you out. Tell them Jay sent you. And this podcast is brought to you by Silencer Shop. That's right. You can use their kiosk, do your fingerprints and photos electronically, and in turn, you cut down on errors. You simplify your silencer purchasing process. You get a money-back guarantee. It's pretty good. No transfer fees, no paperwork errors. Just you and your silencer with no drama. Truly is silencer ownership simplified. Okay? It really is, guys. It's pretty good. Check out the show notes. Like I said, Legion Athletics, there's a link in there. True Shot Gun Club, there's a code for that. Magpul, there's a code for that too. Save yourself some money, dude. Use the codes. Buy stuff. Save some coin. Okay? With the amount of money you save on those, it's almost like your PEW Science membership is free. That's right. Because this podcast is also brought to you by PEW Science, pushing the silencer industry forward one test at a time. Visit pewscience.com for the suppression rating, the simplest and the most accurate hearing safe rating for suppressed small arms, based on true human inner ear response of the entire gunshot from before combustion takes place all the way until all the combustion is gone. PEW Science is the home of the silencer sound standard. 7 sections, the most in-depth and accurate silencer data and analysis in the entire known universe. Check it out on pewscience.com. And you can support this podcast, PEW Science, all the testing that I do, all the analysis that I do, by joining with a membership at pewscience.com. And there's a donate feature if you're into that too. All right? Every little bit helps. And if you're not into buying anything because you're just not that type of person, that's cool. If you're listening to this, go ahead and give this a 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify. That would help the podcast. And it would help me, which helps you. Help yourself. Okay, got 3 topics for you today. Topic 1, member research supplement 6115, flow through versus conventional silencer technology on bolt action rifles, signature comparison with nuance. That's right, members get an in-depth look at just how much the sound signature can change with the flow through silencer and exactly how it can be interpreted by your ears. That's right, that's the important part. Topic 2, silencer sound standard Section 7, PEW Science Rankings. You are all familiar with subsection 7.1 that displays the rankings table. Now introducing subsection 7.2, Suppression Rating Visualization. That's right, a graphical presentation with weight and length metrics, and this is only available for PEW Science members. Okay, thank you for your support. And then topic 3, listener questions. Why not? We'll dive back into the 5th solicitation, and we'll hit a couple today, at least a couple of them. Okay, just I'm gonna get a little bit into that. We don't usually do that. We've been missing them, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, let's do topic 1 in a time of 9 minutes and 56 seconds. Man, Had a kind of a weird day today, and my it's like something in my throat, and so I don't know what it is. I'm having trouble breathing, right? So it's like my voice is, if it sounds kind of nasally, it's because it is. It's because my body's not working right. I don't know. It's all that, like, you work out a lot and then you don't sleep as much because you're working on other stuff, and then you're like, SpaghettiOs, I need to go to Legion and get some immune system boosting stuff. I like to take magnesium and zinc and vitamin D. That's like my trifecta of try not to die supplement. It's pretty good. One second. No, but magnesium and zinc and vitamin D are like clutch. One second, one more time. Drinking water definitely helps. Maybe I'll keep doing that this episode. Okay, topic 1. Member Research Supplement 6115. Flow through versus conventional silencer technology on bolt action. Yeah. So I believe I did tell you folks that I would be writing this for members. I did tell you this. And when I tell you I'm going to do something, sometimes things take a while. But sometimes I do them right away. I try not to make empty promises to you. So I think this is actually a very important article for you to read. It's particularly important for 2 categories of people, I think. Category 1, people that are interested in using flow-through silencers. I think that's important. Excuse me. I think it's important for you to understand how sound signatures can differ. Okay, how the signatures themselves can differ between those produced by these flow-through silencers and silencers that use more traditional baffle technology. Okay, there are some key signature components that are good to understand, and understanding them will help you with your expectations for when you use the silencer on your duty gun, or maybe when it gets approved if you're a consumer waiting for a year or something, or sometimes folks forget that the suppression rating is a DRC, a damage risk criterion. Okay? So they forget that there are certain things in signatures that can create the damage, and the nuance of these things can help you understand the whole signature picture. Okay? If you have ever heard someone say, well, PEW Science really only looks at pressure. I care more about how the silencer sounds in the real world. Well, the person saying that has most certainly not read the silencer sound standard, and they most certainly have not read the research supplements like this one published today, right? So, okay, that brings me to the next category of people that this is important for. Okay, category 2. People that are getting very emotionally upset about the efficacy of PEW Science data when it doesn't agree with their preconceived notions of loudness. Okay? Even though PEW Science is now recognized worldwide as the authority on small arm sound signature testing and analysis, there are still some folks, particularly in the United States, in the consumer market, who are upset that certain silencers perform how the data and analysis says they perform with regard to signature reduction. Okay? And I would say to these people, I hope that you can spend the time to read the articles. Okay? And if you really want to know even more information, more than the already unparalleled information you see in the free articles, member research supplements like this can show you a level of detail that should, for all intents and purposes, assuage your concerns, assuage your doubts and skepticisms, okay? If you still, for some reason, if still, after reading this research supplement, you're still unreasonably angry about the analysis, Okay? Maybe high fidelity testing and analysis of silencers just isn't for you. Okay? And you know what? It's not for everybody. Some people just don't want the real answers, and that's okay. All right? We cannot make people want to know the answer. We can't make people want the truth. We can only lead a horse to water. Okay? Maybe you splash the water on the face a little bit, but you can't waterboard them. That's not humane, right? You can't waterboard them. So yeah, but those are the two categories. I think, the category one, the people that are interested in using flow-through silencers. Then you have category two, the people that are just mad all day long. I think both those people will benefit the most from this research in this latest supplement. I think both of those groups. Now, for the rest of you, I think you'll benefit too. I really do, because it'll help you understand silencers more. How, you may ask? How, Jay? You may ask. Can silencers sound different if they have a similar suppression rating on a host weapon? Well, this article helps you understand that. Okay? Remember, the suppression rating is a DRC, a damage risk criterion. It is not a how does this silencer sound metric. Okay? Instead, it's a how much can this silencer hurt my ears metric. You feel me? Now, do we also know how it sounds? Yes. And that's what this research supplement shows you. So read it. Okay? So I really can't thank you members enough for supporting this effort to make it what it is today. I could not have done this without you, and I continue to not be able to do it without you. Okay? It must have member support to continue. So, therefore, this article is one small thanks to you. Okay? So, why don't we do something else now and talk about another thanks to you members in the next topic. Okay. Next topic. Topic 2 at a time of 17 minutes and 35 seconds. My voice is coming back a little bit. That's good. It's kind of weird. I don't know what it is. And by the way, am I using pre-workout right now to get through this, this podcast? Absolutely. I've been basically my go-to is half a scoop of blue raspberry flavored Pulse from Legion Athletics. Is that an ad? Absolutely it is. Do I use it? Yeah, because my hands are tingling. So that's how I know. 1 second. They have a stimulant-free pre-workout. My wife wants me to get some of that for her so she can try it. She's trying to limit her caffeine intake. She's like, a responsible adult. It's for the birds. Topic 2. Yeah, silencer sound standard, section 7, PEW Science Rankings, and you guys have all used this. People were begging for that, so I made a rankings table. I thought that was really cool. Well, now I want to introduce another tool. It'll be in subsection 7.2. Because right now in 7.1, you have the rankings table. In 7.2, you will have a visualization tool in which you will be able to plot the suppression rating in 2D space, muzzle and ear, with other things like length and weight to filter. And I think it'll be useful for some of you, okay? And again, this is only for members. And why am I giving members extra stuff? Well, it's because they support the effort. Okay? That's why. It's to thank them. A lot of folks have asked for a lot of things. I get asked to do things for free all the time, which is okay. I like to help people, but also it has to be sustainable. So you can't do everything for free because that's not how the world works. So I gave this some thought. Because a lot of folks have asked for a lot of things. And when a lot of folks ask for a lot of things, it can be overwhelming. And so I thought to myself, okay, a lot of folks need information A lot of folks also help me, but with a lot of information and knowledge, which becomes power, you combine those things and it becomes a lot of responsibility. And so I thought to myself, how can I help these people that need help? How can I help folks get the information they want in a way that doesn't mislead them? How can I help people help themselves without doing harm? Okay. How can I give people more power of comparison without giving them the power of misunderstanding or misconstruing data? Excuse me. Okay. These are the thoughts that went through my brainstorming as I, drive to and from work, or I'm in the gym or riding my bike, whatever. Because I'm always thinking about what people ask me and how to help. So this is all the questions that I was going through my mind. And you see, friends, how am I going to put this? Many people have created a variety of rationalizations over the years when it comes to silencers. Okay? Here at PEW Science, we like to cut to the chase. Okay? So, in the spirit of cutting to the chase and showing you exactly what you want to see, I have added a plotting tool to the ranking section for members, okay, like I've been describing to you. And I'm going to keep saying this just to iterate here. No, it is not free. It's only for members because the members support the effort. When there are special things I do that can help greatly, I try to make them members only because I feel members deserve things that are above and beyond. Again, you members provide support that is above and beyond what the general public gives to this effort. So you should be rewarded as such. Okay? The general public already gets all the reviews for free and the suppression rating. Okay? PEW Science has ensured that the suppression rating can help the most amount of people possible, regardless if those people support the effort or not. So in that respect, actually, the public's getting much more than they deserve, frankly. Right? I don't think that's controversial to say. So by and large, if you look at this, by and large, the balance of availability for the public is lopsided, right? There is more free information available at pewscience.com than in the totality of science or test data and information provided in the history of mankind to anybody, right? Like literally, that's objective fact. So the fact that this new ranking section 7.2 is members only should not be controversial to anybody in the world. Okay, given the facts, understand? So now down to brass tacks. The tool that I have created here does not contain everything. And there may be some features you members want to see in the future. And that's okay. All right? It might change and evolve over time, but I wanted you guys to at least be able to visualize the muzzle suppression rating and the ear suppression rating together. And I wanted you to be able to account for weight and length. And I wanted you to be able to use the filters you were used to using in the primary table. Okay, so they're on the same page. Okay, you can use them separately or in tandem. Simultaneously, you can just scroll up and down and on your phone or desktop, and you can use both. You can use the table and you can use this chart simultaneously on the same page, so you don't have to keep clicking back and forth. Okay, so again, you can use them to figure out the best picture of the data for your needs, for your research, for your amusement, for whatever. Okay, go wild. It's your tool. Okay, if you're a member. Now, two important notes, and this is really important. So remember this. Two important notes for all you members out there when you're using this thing, and I. Just to make sure you wouldn't miss this, I also notated in the chart controls for you. The length and the weight are PEW Science lengths and weights. Okay? What does that mean? It means that they are the exact length and exact weight of the tested specimens. So, okay, you feel me? So listen. That means that a single silencer might actually have more than one weight or more than one length. Why? Well, it's because some silencers have been tested in multiple configurations or in multiple host weapons or both, okay? So, for example, Rugged Surge, it's modular. What does that mean? Well, it was tested with 2 different lengths and two different weights, right? Okay, well, what about the Flow 762 Ti? Tested twice, right? Different hosts, right? Same length each time, but 2 different weights. Why? Well, the 308 muzzle brake is a little bit heavier than the 5.56 flash hider by a little bit, just by a little bit. So, all of these nuances are captured in the data set, okay? How? Well, in every single sound signature review, I tell you the weight and the length of the system tested in the first paragraph. It's all traceable. So now it's in a tool for members, all cataloged in a little database thing for you. Okay? Cool, right? So this is the only way I could figure out how to make this fair for now, okay? Because we can't include the weights of silencers without mounts and the lengths of silencers without mounts. And we can only include things that have been tested. Right? Why? Why is that? Why can I only include combinations that have been tested? Well, it's because you're using it versus the suppression rating, right? And the suppression rating at the muzzle and ear are only valid for what's tested. Right? Okay, now I think some of you see where I'm going with this, right? So, guys, when people make plots and graphs of my data on Reddit, I think that's really neat. I do. And I love to see people interpreting things, thinking about them, learning, looking at the data under their own, through their own lenses of interpretation. That's super cool. That shows being inquisitive, being curious, and wanting to understand things. That's really awesome. And I think it's nice. But it is also dangerous because depending on who puts it together and displays it publicly, they can mislead people. How? How can you mislead someone? Well, you could plot a weight or a length that doesn't exist in the data set. And you could then divide it by another quantity and making some kind of ratio that may or not be accurate or meaningful, right? So again, PEW Science data and analysis is fixed. It is valid for the tested configurations. If you conflate things, you do so at your own risk, okay? I am not saying you can't make a judgment on your own. Like if you choose to use a rugged muzzle brake instead of the flash hider, and they are a different weight, and the rugged M2 brake is lighter, and you like it more, so you compare things using that in your own notes, or whatever. Because I said on this podcast before that it doesn't really influence signature in a meaningful way on those silencers. That's fine, right? But if you instead go and you plot a bunch of lengths and weights of silencer versus suppression rating at the muzzle, and you do so without the length of the mounting system, and you compare it to silencers with mounting systems built in, you could get comparisons that are completely wrong, right? And I've seen this happen on Reddit when people make plots, and all of a sudden the public, they're reading these plots and they start making decisions using them. And I'm just going to say, guys, be careful how you present data. People are watching you. Do not mislead people. Do not lead people to conclusions that, okay, you're not supposed to lead people to conclusions. You're not supposed to coerce or trick people, okay? You have to be complete. You have to be objective and responsible, okay? That's PEW Science. We have to be very careful. I'm not saying don't do your own whatever. I'm just saying be careful. And so I was like, I got to help. And so that's what I'm doing, okay? So enjoy it. Enjoy this. Let me know what you think. You should be able to use it on desktop or mobile. It should work. Okay, so let me know. It's a process. If you're a member, email me if you have any feedback. Okay, that'll really help. You can DM me too, but guys, if you really want to get in touch with me and you want a record of our communication and you want like to have official, use email. If you are not a member, well, you shouldn't have any feedback about this because you can't access it, right? So if you are using this and you're not a member, you're stealing from PEW Science, and you're stealing from the members, and you're a criminal. So don't do that. All right. So don't be a bad person. All right. So this is the price of a coffee from Starbucks per month. Okay. So like pay for it, or don't use it. Okay, so come on, guys. You can't even afford a silencer if you can't afford to support PEW Science. So why would you do that? Like, why would you steal from me and my company and then steal from the members? Like that would be like so messed up. So don't do that. Okay. Okay, I shouldn't even have to say that, but you'd be surprised. No, but it's cool. I'm putting the finishing touches on it tonight, and so I don't know. I might make it live tonight, so members can use it. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll wait till the morning. I don't know. If you listen to this because you're a time traveler and you hear it early and you go to the website and it's not there, well, then you know your answer. Okay, let's move into topic 3 at a time of 31 minutes and 43 seconds. Oh, man, we're cooking with grease tonight. No, that's good because I got a lot to do. All right. Topic 3, listener questions. Okay, we're going to dive back into the fifth solicitation. We're going to hit a couple. All right, we're going to hit a couple of questions today. We got to hit a few because it's been a minute and we need to get through the solicitation because otherwise we're never going to get to do the sixth solicitation if we don't even. I can't have you ask me more questions until we finish these. All right, so I'm going to open my spreadsheet here. And keep in mind, guys, if you're new to this podcast or new to PEW Science and all this stuff, I do this series of answering listener questions, and I always put that in the metadata tag for each episode. So if you go to pewscience.com/podcast and you go to this, click on this episode, you can find the metadata tag listener questions, and you can click on that tag. It'll take you to every single episode that had questions answered. And then if you can then listen to those episodes at your leisure and get more knowledge, okay, from all of the hive mind that has contributed over the years here, okay? So last time on listener questions in the fifth solicitation, we left off on the last question we answered was question 371, sub-question 80. And the question was, any reason to use bleed-off mode on an adjustable gas block for a direct impingement rifle? And that was a really great question. And I spoke about that actually at great length. We actually discussed the superlative arms gas block, which is a very common system. We talked about bleed off versus restricted, and so there are some weapon kinematics differences and some other things, especially when you use a silencer, that you need to be aware of. So if you want, you can go listen to that episode where I answered that, and hopefully that will help you with your weapon tuning needs. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to go ahead and get into question 372, sub-question 81, and the question is: does 10 scarburator options with 3 orifice screws equal total of 30 settings for a superfine tune? Okay, let me repeat that question. So this later gentleman is saying, so the scarburator has 10 settings. There are, and this person using a scarburator, and he has 3 orifice screws on his scar. So is the total combination is 30 because he's multiplying 10 times 3. And I would say to that, sir, yeah, it actually does mean that. But technically, there's a nuance here with the scarburator. Technically, when you're fully closed, you are fully closed. So take away 3 options, right? So maybe 27, right? Because your fully closed setting on the carburetor will be closed regardless of which of the 3 orifice screws you pick. So maybe you had 28 setting or whatever it is, right? So you're gonna lose. So I guess you're gonna lose 2 options for maybe 28 settings, right? Because you only have one fully closed option. Because fully closed is fully closed, right? So it's close to 30 though. It's a really great question. It's something I think I said on the podcast a while back when I was discussing the carburetor. Similarly, you can apply this logic in math to the use of the K&S discarder, right? You could, because on that one you have 13 settings, right? You got from full vent to no vent, but you never restrict the orifice. So that means that with the K&S, you can actually use each combination. So theoretically, that would be 13 times 3. So that's 39, right? That's 39 settings. So Mototech gives you 27, 28 possibilities with your 3 gas screws or gas jets if you have 3, and the K&S would give you 39 with the same 3. That's interesting, right? And the K&S system, it's all different venting. So look, I'm telling you guys, as an engineer, I like the K&S system. Is that an endorsement? No. It's just me telling you what I think is cool. Okay, and I'm going to mess with that more, especially with the Flow 762 Ti. And by the way, before I go on, I just realized in topic 1, when I talked about that member research supplement, did I tell you that it's examining the Thunder Chicken from Q and the Nomad-Ti from Dead Air and the Flow 762 Ti from HUXWRX, and those are the silencers that are going up against each other. And why? It's because they all 3 have very similar suppression ratings, but they sound different. That's right. And that's what I wanted to show you guys. Okay? I just thought about that. I just reminded myself because the Flow 762. Sorry, guys. You got to give me a mulligan on this one. I'm just like, I don't feel so good today. Okay? I hope that actually answered your question, sir, ma'am. All right. Let's do the second question here. Global question 373, local question 82. Mark 18 and AAC M4 data. So us old farts can compare our aged kit to the new hotness. So this gentleman is asking for a sound signature review on the venerable AAC M4 on the Mark 18. Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure at least one, if not a couple of dealers or people are going to loan me one of those silencers to test. It's going to happen for history purposes. Has to. I mean, hopefully we can make it fit on the Mark 18 with the rail and everything. I'll use a spacer if you have to. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good to see how it stacks up to the Surefire SOCOM 556 RC2. I think it's going to be good to see that, isn't it? I think it's good. Isn't that going to be good? If we do that, I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be good to test. It's going to be a good test that a lot of people are going to be interested in seeing. Okay, I know I am. I'm going to be really interested in seeing that. I want to know what's going on. For the history, and to be clear, this has nothing to do with advanced armament as it exists right now in 2023. This has everything to do with history and the state of practice and the silencer sound standard pedigree. Okay, so you got to remember, guys, PEW Science is writing the history books here. Like you guys, the listeners, the members, and me, we are writing the history books. Okay, so let's keep writing. That's what this is. That's what that type of test would be. I mean, silencer companies are making new silencers, and silencer dealers are selling silencers, and people are buying silencers. That's true. But we're literally writing the history books here. Okay, and this compendium of knowledge is the largest ever in the world, ever created for silencers. So we're just gonna keep doing it. So when you ask a question, is the M4 2000 going to be tested on the Mark 18? Yes, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. It's a great question. Question 374, sub-question 83. Have you made any progress in figuring out 16-inch 556 host? Enjoyed your thoughts last time. This is a dated question. No. And to answer that question, sir, no. Because this question is out of date, and it's not your fault, dude. We have gone ahead and picked the 14.5 mid-length gas. Testing has started. Excuse me. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. We've spoken about this ad nauseum on the podcast. 14.5 inch mid-length gas was selected for the feature because I think it's the feature for 14.5 barrel length. That gas system. It was selected for its applicability to military and law enforcement. Using the system, and the barrel length, it was selected for its pin and weld capability in high frequency for consumers to avoid NFA because it's almost 16, and it was selected because it's almost 16 inches long, but not. So it's conservative relative to the 16 inch, but it's longer than 12, and it's most certainly longer than 10.3. So I think that's a pretty succinct way to say all that. I hope that sums that up, sir or ma'am. When you actually do bring up 16 inch, and if we're going to test that, I think that 14.5 inch mid is just going to make that superfluous for us. I don't think it's worth doing the 16 once we do the 14.5, although we can. I think the 14.5 is great. I think if we wanted to do something after that, I would rather do 18. But I think we got to move on and do other hosts because 556 is getting a little long in the tooth with all this stuff. I think you do too much. It's like kind of, let's see what we get on 14.5. All right. That's what I think. Okay. All right. That was 3 questions. That's enough, man. I'm gonna highlight that row. I'm gonna close that. Okay. So, what are we? 41 minutes in, less than an hour. No, that's good. So, thank you for listening to this podcast today. Been going hard in the paint. I am going to put the finishing touches on this member research supplement with the Nomad-Ti, the Flow 762 Ti, and the Thunder Chicken. I'm going to put the finishing touches on that tonight. That will go live in the morning for members. I'll go ahead and I'll send you out a newsletter as well, just in case you missed this podcast or something, you won't know about it. I'll go ahead and send everyone a newsletter to announce that, and also I will make the data visualization tool live as well, and so you members can use that as well tomorrow. Okay, and I'll put that in a newsletter too, just in case you're not listening. All right. So I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff online. People have been buying these Flow 762 Ti's, and they get them in at their dealer, and then they go to the dealer and they can shoot them while they're waiting. They call that like a conjugal visit because the silencer's still in jail, so they get to shoot it. And the people have been shooting them, and they've been sharing their experiences. They've been sharing their experiences with me personally. They've been emailing me and DMing me on social media. They've been posting things on social media where people can comment. And I tell you what, it has been so interesting to hear people's experience with a silencer that I just released data on, and the silencer was just released. So how new is it? That is so cool. And for me to see every single person's experience matching what we see in the test data, or if they're shooting it on a system we haven't tested, but experiencing a certain thing, those experiences being congruent with what we would expect based on the test data, that's awesome. Okay, and so I thought it fitting, especially since I mentioned it before, I found it fitting to release this research supplement because I think that it'll nip some things in the bud. And this one is for bolt guns. And again, remember I told you I was going to do something for the 556 as well. I will for members, but this first one is just for the bolt gun. And this one in particular is important because I'm telling you right now, I have 3 silencers sitting on my desk. I got 3 silencers sitting on my desk. I have the Flow 762 Ti on my left hand. I have the Q Thunder Chicken in my right hand. And right here in front of me, I just picked up the Dead Air Nomad-Ti. Oh my God, that's so light. The Dead Air Nomad-Ti. And these silencers, the Nomad-Ti and the HUXWRX are very similar in size. The Thunder Chicken's really big. And all these three silencers have like very similar suppression ratings on 308 bolt action. But boy, howdy, could they not sound more different than they do. And that's what members get. And I'm so excited for you to see that tomorrow. Okay. So with that, friends, I'm going to go get to work, finish this, and maybe I can go to bed early and let that whey protein go to work. Until next time, friends, stay safe, and I will talk with you folks again soon. All right, bye.